Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Canal Algerie, and this is Rafik Hamidesh. I'm your host today for this special TV program dedicated to the 7th Gas Exporting Countries Forum that will be held in Algiers from the 29th of February to the 2nd of March 2024. Algiers conference will take place at a time when gas is becoming more and more recognized as an essential source of energy for economic growth and social development, with the potential to become one of the most environmentally friendly sources of energy available. As a result, the upcoming GECF forum is likely to focus on strengthening cooperation and deeper discussions between members, mainly about highlighting the importance of natural gas source of energy for transition, solving technical issues, and encouraging investment, exploration and production for natural gas fields. And to talk about this, we have the great pleasure to welcome Mr. Shuaib Boutamin, Oil and Gas Strategy Advisor. Mr. Boutamin, welcome.
Thank you very much.
So, first of all, given the time and current challenges faced by the world, or should I rather say, what will be the priority for this forthcoming gas exporting forum?
Okay, first of all, thank you very much. Thanks for having me here. Before to answer the question, allow me to go back 2 years ago to the 6th edition that took place in Qatar and Doha in February 2022. So from that time today, 2 years, challenges happened in these 2 years. The first one is the war in Ukraine, and the second one is the war in Gaza, in Palestine. So two challenging things, but they changed a roadmap of natural gas supplies and generated, let's say, natural gas supply disruption globally. So if we go back to the edition, the statement, they started out with 12 statements. But when I was scrolling down the statement, I was stopped in number 5. So number 5 was urging the country members to ensure steady supplies of natural gas, which is really the case as what we see challenges now in the Red Sea, and how the LNG vessels, they are not crossing that region. It's the case for Qatar. We took a decision 2 weeks ago that its vessels, LNG vessels, will not cross that area because of, you see, the fears and conflicts and tension in that region. And going down to the statement number 12, the statement number 12, they decided that to maintain a good supply of natural gas, and they will have an agreement between countries members and the transit countries to ensure stability of natural gas supplies. That was not really the case, because as we know, by the end of 22, we had the Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2 relying natural gas linking natural gas from Russia to European Union. We had some sabotage about Nord Stream 1 and 2. So Nord Stream 1 was flowing like 55 BCM of natural gas, but the second one was ready to transport also double capacity, but was not really the case. I believe that both countries, Qatar at the moment and Russia, have encountered both problems, both issues, and I think they will discuss about this point in the 7th edition. So if we come back to the 7th edition, will take place in Algiers from the 29th of February to the 2nd of March. It's a great event in a very critical time. What I can say about this meeting, I think there's a challenging thing. In this meeting, the challenging thing is we have to say something very important. Country members, they have to be influencer. They have to be influencer on natural gas globally. Why? Because in the last 2 years, United States took the lead by exporting, took place of LNG from Qatar and Australia, and became the biggest, largest LNG exporter in the world. So now how these country members, they will act on that, how they will answer, how they will compete, because there is a fierce competition in the European market regarding natural gas. So 12 members of GECF plus the 7 members are observers, they have to decide how to act on this. But let me shed light on the United States, what really happened there. United States became a swing producer of natural gas. It became a swing producer. Why? Because the United States has a big share of natural gas in the global market. Second thing, it has a large capacity of natural gas. So the large capacity in the United States allowed it to dominate the international market of LNG. But allow me to give you some numbers. United States at the moment has more than 100 BCM of natural gas. Okay? So it allowed the United States to sell its, to commercialize its natural gas to many markets, and mainly to Europe, but in behind, it has a very big inventories, and that's helped it to commercialize and to trade its natural gas. So I think there is a challenging time for this summit, and I believe they have to take some decision on this way.
Mr. Benjamin, you mentioned two things. I have to interrupt you and ask you straightforward about it. Now, you're talking about sovereignty and the right to master their own production. Is hosting in this condition, is hosting such an important international energy event like GECF an opportunity for Algeria to showcase its commitment to promoting natural gas for sustainable development and to contribute to the discussions of the future of the gas industry, and by this to confirm its important role in the energy scene in the world?
Yeah, definitely. Let me remind everybody that Algeria is a pioneer country on kind of LNG production. Algeria is the first country that commercialized LNG in the world in 1964, and was a shipment from Erzurum in Oran, the west of Algeria. Shipment took place there and shipped to UK. So Algeria is, let me remember also everybody that Algeria is the biggest natural gas producer in Africa, and largest natural gas exporter also in Africa, and lately overtook the place of Nigeria as a main LNG exporter in the continent. So I think this is, if we want to see what's the role of Algeria, we have to see what's really going in the Red Sea, in the Canal of Panama, what's going in a war in what's really happening in that region, Ukraine, or a war between Ukraine and Russia. But even those problems, supplies from Algeria to its clients, to its partners, sustained, stabilized. We have seen in 2023 the production of Algeria increasing. It was supplying more natural gas to its clients compared to 2022. If we remember, when the war took place in 2022, all the European Union leaders, they scrambled and they were rushed to Algeria looking to diversify their natural gas supplies. Yeah. So this is the main role Algeria is playing. Even we had a lot of troubles, a lot of tensions in many regions in the world, but Algeria kept its supplies, steady supplies to its European Union countries mainly. And this is how I see the role of Algeria is a pivotal role in the region, even in the world.
Yeah, with such role, can you tell me to what extent do you think that Algeria should rather focus on supporting member countries' sovereign right over their natural gas resources and contributing to sustainable development, and why?
Yeah, let me tell you something. GECF, in GECF, GECF members, so we have 12 full-pledged members and 7 observers. In GECF, we have 69% of the global natural reserves are in GECF. So this is highly important. So actually, if we talk about Algeria, about all the members, we have to talk about the institute will be integrated in Algeria, and through this institute there will be, I strongly believe that will be a very tight relationship. There will be a synergy to be developed between the country members. But I have to tell you something I see very important. The main concern now for the GECF members is to keep flowing natural gas, steady flows of natural gas in one side. But the second thing, that we have to control also the prices of natural gas. There is no way, if we keep flowing natural gas, but prices drop or take a bearish trend, a sentiment, this will not serve the producers and even the consumers. Because if you go back to 2 years ago, natural gas prices in TTF, in the European market, rose to 350 euros per megawatt. But at the moment, they are only 28.5 euros per megawatt. So if you are an investor and you see this volatility of prices, it will not encourage you to put investment. You cannot entice investment in these conditions. I give you an example. The Algerian Sonatrach just put $15 billion of investment to be invested from now to 2028 just to develop natural gas. If you see this instability and you are a manager of Sonatrach, you have to take a decision. There is a volatility of prices, and you have to act. So the main priority, I think, now for all the members is to see stabilized prices. Mm-hmm. By the way, we can really entice investment on one hand, and we can keep flowing natural gas to the consumers. Because there is another thing I have to shed light on, is if oil prices or natural gas prices spike, mm-hmm. this will not serve the consumer and even the producer. Why? Because if we go back 2 years ago, I have to go 2 years ago all the time, because that time the prices took very high levels, skyrocketed. Yeah. When prices go up, we encourage the inflation to hike. Okay? Mm-hmm. When the inflation rises, systematically federal banks, they take instructions to do what? To increase the interest rate. Right. And this is what we see now. Right. In the United States now, the interest rates are 5.5. In the European Union are 4.5. So we are curbing the consumers to take loans from the banks. And we are curbing the consumption. And the result we see now, that the prices are dropping dramatically. Yeah. Yeah. So now the stability is very important for the producers and the consumers. And to give you an example for oil, for example, if prices go more than $100 per barrel, that will not serve the consumers and will not serve the producers also. It's the same thing for natural gas. So I think this is the main concern, the main priority we have to shed light on, and we have to work together all as members, and we have to strengthen this interrelation to make, let's say, develop a combination between all the members. So the second thing...
Yeah, this is what the forum is about.
Yeah, exactly. So if we talk about the institute will be integrated in Algeria, I have to say that we need to keep flowing natural gas, but with very low carbon footprint. This is the priority. European Union last October took decision to put a regulation, CBAM, carbon border adjustment mechanism. Mm-hmm. It will take effect from in 2026. Say the European Union countries, they will control all the products they come inside the European Union, and especially they look for the carbon emissions of any product.
Right, that's right. You can make it, easy for me to move to the next question. About the contradiction that exists mainly in this side of the consumer countries, mainly when they talk about global warming, climate change and green energy, and bearing in mind that natural gas has 60% lower carbon emissions than coal.
This is a tricky plan. This is the tricky thing all the consumers are really trying to commercialize. I give you some numbers. The first COP took place in Germany in 1995. The last one, COP28, took place in UAE just a few months ago. Okay. What happened in 2023? 23, we had a record consumption of oil, 102 million barrels per day. Record consumption of natural gas, 4 TCM, trillion cubic meters of natural gas. And more than that, something is emitting more carbon than any fossil energy, coal. It's a dirty material when burning it. Yeah. Okay. So in 2023, the world consumed more than 8.5 billion tons of coal.
How much this comparing to the previous years?
Yeah, it's a record. This is the record year in 23 what we consumed a lot.
I mean, is it double or triple or?
It's increased. It's increasing gradually anyway.
Okay.
But we recorded that number. So this is the contradiction. This is double standard, I see. So if we talk now about energy transition, the priority, I believe, is to make an internal energy transition among the fossil energies. I tell you why. At the moment, coal, electricity generated from coal, representing 35% globally. Natural gas is only 20%. So natural gas, which is emitting less than 60% of carbon compared to coal, has to take the lead. So now it's 20%, so it has to take the place of coal, and this is, if we can achieve this one, so we have made a great achievement, but taking the natural gas will take a lead, because it's eco-friendly, okay?
Yeah.
And it's, let's say, it's like classified as green energy, but anyway, it's still emitting CO2
So
emission.
if these developed countries who are consuming more than any other country this energy, for instance, gas, why are they putting the gas or this kind of energy, under the shed light?
Yeah, and this is the double standard policy. This is politics.
What's the point?
This is politics. I tell you what's really will happen in the future. So now they try to commercialize electric vehicles. Okay.
Yeah.
They try to commercialize electric vehicles. What we did in vehicles, we have replaced the internal combustion motor with lithium battery. So we are keeping the same car, and all the components of the car, 50% of the car's volume, 50% is from derivatives of oil and gas. It's rubble, polycarbonates, all that stuff is coming. We extracted all derivatives of oil and gas. And this is the trick. If you have electric vehicles, now a vehicle, you have a lithium battery. So when your charge is running out, you plug it in the station.
Yeah.
What's happening in that station? If that station electricity generated from coal, this is a big mistake. Oh. This is very tricky. Wow. So it's better that you use natural gas in your direct combustion in your car.
It's pointless to do.
Exactly. Rather than you use electric vehicle, and when you go to plug it in a station, you plug it with electricity that was initially generated from coal. And this is like it's all business. So this is like when you sell something. How to say? Obviously, when you see it, you like it. Electric vehicles, it's eco-friendly. But if we delve into details, dig into details of manufacturing the process, we see that maybe we'll consume more fossil energies rather than the car we are using at the moment.
Yeah, Mr. Bitumin, thank you for all this information. I want to ask you, natural gas prices are dropping remarkably this year. It is a question of supply disruption, or is it anything else? Is it based for any other reason?
Oh yeah, the main reason is the interest rate. This is the big problem. This is the challenging point at the moment. If we still have the globally European Union and United States, we still have very high interest rates. If you have high interest rates, the borrowers, you cannot get money from the banks, and this is really blocking all transactions. So you cannot have access, you cannot rent a car, for example, you cannot get money from your bank. This is the big challenge. I think at the moment is the interest rate. The second thing for natural gas prices, as you mentioned, that are dropping at the moment, is something of high importance. Why? If we see the challenge, what's really happening in the Red Sea, many LNG vessels, they are not really crossing that area. So we have a delay of deliveries of 12, 15 days. But even those problems, the European Union still getting natural gas from the United States. But what's happening in European Union? European Union increased its storage capacity of natural gas to 97 billion cubic meters of gas. Mm-hmm. This is a very high important thing for the European Union. Same thing for the United States. They have a storage capacity of 103 billion cubic meters of natural gas. So even we had a disruption of supplies through the Red Sea and even the Panama Canal, but even that, the prices keep dropping because both the United States and the European Union, they still have a full storage of natural gas. That's why they still they are absorbing the shock of any supplies disruption.
Yeah, talking about this storage, I mean, that leads us to the following question. Are the GECF members strong enough to control the global natural gas market?
At the moment, they are not really, to be honest, they are not really strong enough at the moment because we have to do something like the OPEC Plus. When we see the oil prices, when we see the prices go down, the OPEC Plus members, they decide to decrease, they decide to cut production. So it's not really the case for natural gas. Now, for natural gas, even the prices drop, we cannot really cut production. This is a big problem. I think that the most important thing in the future, this is a strategic point. I think I will orientate it to Algeria. We have to work with some country members of GECF to make storage of natural gas in Algeria. Maybe, tell me, Algeria, maybe with Qatar, maybe with Turkey. We make like a storage point in Algeria. Why? Because if any scenario will be repeated, any war, any disruption of supplies, we can find these reserves and we can use them to supply the market. And this is what the Americans did. They had very good enough supplies, storage of natural gas. When the war declared in Ukraine, the European Union was really thirsty to any LNG, any drop of natural gas, and they got a lot of natural gas from the United States, and they gave them a very good profit to the Americans.
Talking about good profit, we talk about now the good news maybe. Before the TV program, you told me that the international demand for LNG is expected to increase by 40 up to 50% from now until 2030. Why is that? And I mean, what could be the reason?
This is a very good point. At the moment, the LNG demand, the consumption, world demand, is 420 million tons of LNG annually. By 2030, we'll have an increase of 50%. I tell you why. India, electricity generation is coming from coal by 75%. From China, China is generating its electricity 60% from coal. You know that many countries now, they are putting pressure on China and India to replace the coal by natural gas. So let me tell you that Japan was the leading country as an importer of LNG in the previous years. 2023, China overtook Japan and became the net importer, the global biggest importer of LNG in the globe. So now the pressure on China and India to replace coal with LNG, with natural gas. So that's why even for Korea, for many countries, for example, Germany also. Germany is generating its electricity 30% from coal. And now all these countries, especially in the European Union, they try to replace the coal or dirty fuels with natural gas. So that's why if we phase out those volumes of coal and of oil, of fuel to generate electricity, if we replace them with natural gas, it means that natural gas share in the global market will increase. That's the reason why natural gas, LNG, demand will increase by more than 50% by 2030.
Mr. Vitamin, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, that was it for tonight. I hope you to stay tuned on Canal Algérie. And thank you very much, Mr. Vitamin. Have you got anything else to add before we close the...
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So that was it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching Canal Algérie program. Stay tuned on our channel. Thank you. Bye-bye.